This is Grapplers Talk.
What is up, fans of Grapplers Talk? Each and every week, thank you to the fans for downloading, listening to the podcast. We appreciate all the love and support we get. And man, I love all the guests we've been having lately. We've been having some awesome conversations with grapplers all over the country. And man, I have been excited for this one for a while now. A few months ago, maybe a couple months ago, I had a gentleman on named Don Staben, and we were talking before and after the show, and you know, he had enlightened me to a couple things that I wasn't too aware of. And one of the things he enlightened me to a young man out of Ralph Gracie Berkely. And you know, if you look into this gentleman, he's very well known for a couple of reasons, and we'll get into that here shortly. But again, thank you to everyone for listening to the podcast. I'd like to introduce none other, all the way from Ralph Gracie Berkely, joining me via Zoom from the Bay Area, Austin Hardt, brother. What is up, man? Welcome to the show.
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. It is, you know, you told me it's an honor, but man, it's really like big for me to have you on, man. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to jiu-jitsu, and
Me too.
I love everything that you're doing out there, man. Let's just get started. Austin is well known for a couple of reasons, but I want to get into his story on how he discovered jiu-jitsu. Austin, who introduced you to the sport? Where did you go? What was the experience like walking into the gym for the first time?
For sure. Okay, so 2007, I was in second year of college, and my buddy's younger brother had just came to start college, Jay Kalla, and he showed me a rear naked choke, and then he had me put a rear naked choke on him, and he goes, "I'm gonna tap you out in 2 seconds." I was like, "Bro, I got you in a choke. There's no way you're gonna tap me, right?" Of course, I had my ankles crossed in front of him.
Yeah.
So he taps me out, and I was like, mind blown, right? So I trained a little with the Hawaii guys in college, and then a little bit with Dave Terrell's guys in Napa. This is like 2009, 2010-ish.
Okay.
And then just dropped in a few places. And then my ex-girlfriend got us this Groupon for the first month at Ralph Gracie Berkely for $30.
Wow.
So I was like, you know, we swing by the school, and I was like, pajamas, you know, this is not real fighting. And I go in, and the white belts choke me unconscious. You know, Alexei Bordas, first person ever choke me unconscious.
Wow.
And I remember he got me with this. It's like a chicken, like he had the choke on, and then he like underhooked my arm from behind and fed his hand behind.
Oh.
So it's like my arms up like this, and I got choked to sleep. And I woke up thinking I had won. I don't know what the hell. I woke up, and I don't know how I thought I won. But yeah, I was like, "Good job tapping out, bro." He's like, "Bro, let me lift up your legs." Anyway, and then this blue belt, Mark J. Acosta, he had me in his open guard. The way I was thinking about it was I was on top of him, holding him down, choking his throat.
Yeah.
And then he just like with his legs that are like a foot shorter than mine, he lifted my butt into the air and then cross collar choked me.
Yeah.
And to sleep.
Ooh.
And I woke up, and I was like, this dude is like 60 pounds lighter than me, a foot and a half shorter. I mean, he's not, but like he's like 5'2", you know, 125, something like that, I think. And he just choked me out, man. I was like, this is real life Naruto powers.
Yeah.
I got to learn this. I've never seen anything like this in my life, you know?
Yeah.
And that was, I want to say, I don't know, maybe 2012, 2013-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
And man, I've been like addicted ever since.
That's what happens. You know, I hear of a lot of it, and you know, it's not like the people that get addicted, they don't go in there and wreck house. It's always the ones that, you know, get choked out right away or you know, get humbled right away. And then, you know, something about jiu-jitsu, man, it's very addicting, and man, it's an incredible sport to be a part of. And man, you've been a part of it a long time, you know, dabbling in it in the early days, and even 2012, 2013, that's, you know, pretty early days to be going at it.
For sure. Sure.
So, you know, there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of submissions. There's a lot of stuff you hear about. And this was back in 2020 during the COVID days. And, I started in 2005, so I'm kind of old school.
Nice.
I don't, the moves you see on YouTube, yeah, that's cool and all, but, we're in the gym training,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But a friend of mine had sent out a video to a group message, and he said, check out this choke. It's called the Buggy Choke.
Oh, no way.
And he starts sending it out, and next thing you know, all the purple belts, all the brown belts start, fucking with it. And
Yeah.
that was my first introduction to the Buggy Choke, actually.
Nice.
And when I originally saw it, obviously you just think, oh, it's a 10th planet type of
Totally.
move, or that's where it came from. And even if you do a deep dive on the Buggy Choke, if you go to Google and type in, the creator, where did the Buggy Choke come from? There's all kinds of different information out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I got deep into the Reddit forums,
Nice.
That's like the crazy part. And, if you read into those Reddit forums, you hear people saying different things. One of the things I heard was Helio's been doing this for years, and this and that, and people are trying to stake claim to it, and it's been around forever. I don't think it's been around forever, I'll tell you that. And then somebody chimes in on the Reddit forum and they say, this guy's from Ralph Gracie Berkely. And he starts tagging videos and video evidence and talking about how it came to be. So this is the man. Austin, talk about the Buggy Choke. Everyone wants to know, where did this thing come from? How did you come up with it? What were you playing with when it happened?
Okay, for sure. So main thanks for finding it goes to Dave Klahan, who's a Ralph Gracie Berkely black belt, and he's like Master House business partner, basically, as far as I understand, with running the school as well as the school in Mongolia. So Ralph Gracie Berkely, Ralph Gracie Mongolia. Big Dave's a big part of that, and so Big Dave, he actually showed me it's basically upside down scarfold.
Yeah.
Case of Gatami. So it's like we were at this expose, jiu-jitsu expose. There's like a street fair or something, like they shut down the downtown Shattuck Avenue in Berkeley, and everyone had like booths and everywhere. So we had the mats out there, and I got my ass kicked. I had invited my mom, my girlfriend at the time, and her cousins. I was like, oh, I've been training for a few years. I'm getting better. I will show them some cool stuff, and then I just get destroyed. And I was so sad, bro. I think I was about to cry. And I was like sitting down, and Big Dave came over. He was like, Austin, because he just saw me get killed by the white belt, the blue belt. And then this other white belt too. Actually, it was Alexei, Ash, and then Link. Link just got his brown belt with me. Alexei's black belt. Ash is black belt now. Anyway, so Big Dave comes over. He's like, I think he felt sorry for me. Help this guy out. I was making him cry in front of his mom. So he was like, all right, bro, come over here. So then, so he goes, good morning, sweetie. Here you go. My wife just woke up.
Yeah.
So he goes, all right, dude, look, just when you're in bottom side control, try to get their head and arm and grab your tendon right here, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of exposing your back if you turn away from them and kind of, frame under their close side armpit and get around their head, and then get their head and arm, their far arm, and their head in your loop right here, right?
Yeah.
And then with your free foot, not this foot,
Mm-hmm.
but the other foot, with your free foot, you can do some two forms of hip escape, like one where you load them up onto you and try to threaten to sweep them over this way, one where you bring your hips out that way by opening, planting the foot and sucking your hips that way. This is two different directional hip escapes for getting some control with their head and arm in there.
Yeah.
So, I was playing with that as a black belt guy. I'm like primary black belt at the school, and I was like, oh shit, okay. So I was working with that a lot, and then I went to 10th Planet Walnut Creek with Alex Cander's open mat, 8:30 a.m. And I was working with that, right? So, and he's head professor. He's super legit. I'm some white belt, right? So, and I'm trying to hold him in here, and he's like posturing. I'm like, I can't even hold him, right? So I'm cheating. It's no gi. I'm grabbing my shorts down here by my butt because he's getting out, and I'm like trying to hold on to something, and I can't hold it. And then he's still posturing. I can't hold it. He's probably framing off my face a bit. And then I try to hold my elbow in place with my leg right there, right?
Yeah.
So then it's still not working. He's like, I feel he's about to get out. And I was like, oh, well, my foot's right there. And I just kind of grab on my foot and locks my elbow more in place, right? So, and then he gets out anyway and taps me out like 5 times with some intensity, right? So afterwards he goes, hey man, like, sorry for going kind of hard on you. I know you're a beginner. And I think what he was thinking was I kicked this guy's ass pretty hard. I hope he comes back to my school. I don't know if that's what he's thinking, but that's what I think. So then what he said following right after that, he goes, it's just that headlock thing you had me in frustrated me a little bit. And I was like, bro, what? I could frustrate a guy this good,
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I bet if I could frustrate a guy this good, I could tap a white belt with it. I was like, I didn't even know there's any kind of choke here or anything, So I was like asking him like, oh shit, when was it tight? How do you think I could improve it? And he was like, well, what were you doing? Show me what you were doing. So, we brainstormed on it. That's Alex Kanders, working from the position that Big Dave showed me. So I go straight from there, as was my routine, and I once in a while still do it, like 8:30 a.m. open mat at 10 Planet Walnut Creek, then straight to Ralph Gracie Berkely at 10 a.m., the Bay Area's original open mat. Come out, we got like 90 people, 110 people. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Both of them are great, and both of them are free. You guys just come out, man.
Yeah. Don's actually invited us out to it, so
yeah. So I went out and rolled with this champion purple belt guy. He's like middleweight, middle heavy, something like that. And he had whooped me like 150 times, 300 times, who knows, like for like over a year. He just smashed me every time. I don't think I had ever recovered my guard on this guy. Like,
yeah.
And then he had me in bottom side, and I put him in the same thing, and I went down here and I grabbed here, and then I triangled my other leg over. And this is the one with my hips turned away from the opponent's hips.
Okay.
Not the classic one that you're seeing where the hips are turned toward and then you gable and triangle.
Right.
This is the one where you turn away and get their far side arm. So and I squeezed and he tapped, and he sat up like in disbelief to his knees. He was like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, what did you do? What did you even do?
Yeah.
And I was like, I was just in disbelief.
Yeah. That's. So, I mean, especially as a white belt, you're like trying to figure it out at the same time, right?
I never tapped a legit purple belt before. The one purple belt I had caught was something right after I had caught him. It was like a lockdown on one side and a Kimura on the other side. And then somebody told me right after, it's like, he's not legit. He's not from here. And I was like, oh, my dreams, they crushed. I thought it was cool. And yeah, dude. So like I tapped this guy, and like, he's going easy on me. I'm a white belt, but like still I was like, is by far the best guy I ever caught with anything. And I knew, like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. This is like the first day I even thought there might be a choke here.
Yeah.
But like once I caught him that first time, I didn't even know there's like 50 variations and entries. I just had that one position.
Yeah.
And but ever since then, I've just been like, a lot of hate on the Buggy Choke still.
There
a
is.
lot of doubters,
Yeah.
but it's like ever since then, I never doubted at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm like like a dog with a boat. Like just the jaw was just locked. I was like unreal. Like I knew,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, it's wild, man. I even had, like, when I first heard about the Buggy Choke, I told people, you can't Buggy Choke me. That doesn't work on me. I'm old school, pressure, I'm going to smash you. And then one time somebody got close, you know, and I still never been tapped with a buggy, knock on wood, but I have seen the shadow realm a couple times, and I'm like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
So it really like will mess with, especially an experienced person.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that thinks they have this solid jiu-jitsu and then they get caught with this move, and all of a sudden, like that black belt said, a little bit of panic goes on, right? You
Totally.
feel something there. And,
Totally.
you know, one of the things I read on the Reddit forums was some people give credit to Cade Bertolo. Where did that come from? I know he's finished a lot of people with the Buggy Choke.
He's awesome, man.
Did you get to meet him ever, or how did that work?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure we will. So it's crazy because, I was actually, I forget what I was doing that night, but I got a phone call from Rose Gracie. She goes, Austin, sit down. Right. I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Right. And so I sit down and she goes, all right, I'm sending you this video. So she sends me this video and she goes, all right, check it out. I watched the video. It's Cade in Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds in the final, winning Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds with a Buggy Choke, right? It's like, and I was just like, holy shit, it was so sick. I want to say that was the one against PJ Barch, I think. Yeah. He has multiple. Cade has multiple.
He's had a ton of them. Yeah.
Him and his brother Ty, bro, they're super good with it. Ty he didn't finish either of these two names, but I've seen Ty throw them in like official matches against Mergali. I've seen him throw them at Craig Jones.
Yes.
Like, speaking of Craig Jones, he's one of the best, possibly the best buggy choker in the world.
Yeah.
He's so good, bro. It's so beautiful.
His flexibility in his legs is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Craig Jones is an animal.
Yeah, so that was that's where the Cade gets the credit from is that one, and then the one I think he hit in Who's Number One. Another big buggier was this was so sick. It was Renee Souza and Derek Rayfield at headquarters, 10th Planet headquarters. Renee throws a buggy on Derek, and then Derek throws a counter buggy, so they're bugging each other at the same time. And then Derek actually won, the squeeze off, and Renee had to tap. But I was chatting with Renee, just like probably over a year ago now, and he was like, "Yeah, dude," but I was so like, I was so upset about that loss that basically I focused on developing my buggy so much that I don't know how long, a few months or something after that, Renee buggy choked J-Rod in Who's Number One. It was so sick, bro. J-Rod.
Yeah, they're just passing it back and forth. Too. Yeah.
Dude, like, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
And then J-Rod won, actually, I think it was before that last story that J-Rod won ADCC West Coast Trials, got his purple with a buggy,
Yeah.
And he added this variation where you do this punch choke when they're kind of slipping out a little bit. It exposes their close side carotid.
Yeah.
You just punch choke on there.
Man, that is badass, dude.
Yeah.
So let's back up just a little bit, right? When did the world discover the Buggy Choke? Obviously, you're doing it at Ralph Gracie's, you're doing it in the gym, but to get it nationally known and worldwide known, I mean, I'm sure there's still some people that haven't, got too deep on it, but it's getting popular and popular. How did the world find out?
So, good question. So, I was doing it at the school, and I was competing a lot. And I really wanted to hit it in competition. So I think it was, 2015 probably, Worlds, IBJJF Worlds, I believe it was. I had a dude in it, and I had him in there for like 2 minutes or something. And he was like gurgling, but he didn't tap, right? So then right after that, Alexei Bordas, who the guy I mentioned who's first guy who ever choked me unconscious, he was like, bro, you got to find transitions off of there, right? So thanks to him and that coaching, I found a whole bunch of variations just directly thanks to exploring from what he had recommended.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I've been trying to hit it for years in competition. So 2016, I go to Gracie Worlds, just like, I don't know, June, July-ish, right? In SoCal, Rose Gracie's Gracie Worlds, right? Submission only. And I hit it twice the Sunday, the no-gi. And it's my first time hitting it in competition. I hit it twice, right? So then the first video of that kind of went all over the States, like East Coast guys it was blowing up in the community.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like I got text like a few days later. He's like, bro, like one of my buddies, Tom, I think it was Tom Stern. He was like, dude, you're countrywide. You know, I was like, what the fuck? White belt, bro. You know, he's just insane.
Yeah.
And then, so then the way it really blew up though was, I went to compete in another of Rose's tournaments in Florida. So, you know, I had met her the day of the gi day before the no gi day that I had hit it. And I had this match against this guy that was like sandbagger. He was like, you know, super strong. He had submitted all his opponents in like 20 seconds, you know, and Rose was like, oh, who's this sandbagger fighting in the final? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a Ralph Gracie guy. So then she gave me the option for, do I want no time limit submission only, or do I want time limit EBI rules, something like that. And I was like, no time limit, you know, submission only. Cause I was like, bro, like this guy, you know, I got way better chance than that. Cause I don't know if I could finish this guy in that time, but like, I believed in my jiu-jitsu and, you know, like, and I'm kind of, you know, I get smashed by all these killers. I was like, white belt can't tap me, you know? Like, so anyway, 21 plus minute fight.
Wow.
And he actually had my right arm and leg shin stapled, and I go-go plotted him with one hand and one foot. Wow. And yeah, and both his coaches on the video, you can hear him say, "What happened?" You know? So anyway, so Rose was actually at Matt's side watching. So that's I met her right after that because I had desperately asked for somebody to film my match. You know, I was in the final, you know, and nobody wanted to do it. Everyone looking away, like, who's this weirdo? Don't bother me, you know. And but this young girl, she was like, I'll film it, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll pay you. I think I said $80 or whatever. Like, anyone, please, can you film for me? I'll give you $80. I have the cash right here. Right? And like, so she's like, I'll do it. And then turns out that was Rose's daughter.
Wow.
You know, I didn't know. And so then afterwards, you know, of course I pay her, and Rose won't let me pay her.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, no, you already came, you're fighting our tournament. No, you're not going to pay. And I was like, please, like, this is the coolest match I've ever had. Like, I really want to pay. Like, please. I gave my promise. I have to, you know, and they wouldn't take it. So I left it on the ground. Right. Yeah. So that's how we met. So then, yeah. So anyway, going out to Florida to fight in, I don't know, Gracie regionals or nationals or something like that. Right. And you know, Rose texts me when I'm in the airport in California about to fly to Fort Lauderdale. And she goes, hey, bro, you probably don't want to fly out here because there's a hurricane coming in, and like, yeah, there's a small chance it could turn, but like, it's not going to turn, bro. We're going to cancel the tournament. Yeah. And I was like, so you're saying there's a chance? Right? So I was like, I'm coming, bro. Yeah. So I get, you know, she's like, you crazy. So I go out, and as soon as I landed Fort Lauderdale, I remember seeing on the TV as I walked off the plane ramp, this is the governor of Florida saying, evacuate the east coast of Florida, like, leave the city, you know. And so I ran this SUV. It drove 260 miles to Tampa, and you know, and then Rose texted me like the next day. I think she's like, all right, I'm going to send you to train with these guys for a week, you know, because you came all the way out here and the tournament's not happening. I take care of my guys. So she sent me to train with Rob Kahn, bro. That's Royce Gracie's first black belt, dude.
Yeah, that's like, crazy.
Dude, it was sick, bro. He's so high level. So I trained with them like 2-3 times a day for the whole week. And then the last day she sends me to go train with Lil Tony Pazensky. And they're both at the time both out in Tampa. They might still be both in there. I think Tony's I want to say Air Force, so I think he was in Japan for a while. I don't even know. But anyway, so the day I go train with Tony, you know, I'm buggy choking his white belts, blue belts, and then you know, I'm explaining the choke to them. They're like, what the fuck is this? You know, white belts love this shit, right? So then I roll with Tony, and I'm an infant.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
just an infant, and I'm not impressive at all.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't do anything, right? And I'm all bummed out, like, oh damn it, like Rose talked me up to this guy, and now he thinks I suck.
Yeah.
And then, but then right afterwards, you know, it probably gave me good motivation because then I buggy choked this big brown belt guy, and Tony was watching, and some of the other black belts were watching, right? So I hit this brown belt, and he was like visiting from LA, and then and Tony goes, "All right, let me see this thing again. Show me this thing again, right?" So then, so I show him, and he goes, "Can we film this?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude,
Yeah, of
like,
course.
please,
Yeah,
you know?"
please do.
So then so we film it, and you know, he puts it on his YouTube, and the next morning it has 75,000 views, you know, and it's like blows up viral.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, so that's when it kind of went viral worldwide and got on all like BJJ Eastern Europe, all the you know, the websites and the you know,
Yeah.
whatever, the article writer people.
Right.
And so, you know, I came home, and I was like, I had US Open coming up, and I was like, I know I got to prove it. Like, I know I got to prove it now, you know?
Yeah.
So 4 days out from US Open, my professor pulls me from, you know, warm-ups, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna weigh you. I know you have US Open in 4 days. So he weighs me, and I'm 19.6 pounds over. Yeah. And he's like, bro, you're not gonna make it. You have to email them and change your weight. I was like, no, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I didn't even know how to
Yeah.
weight cut back then, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I gotta do it, because
And you're
I had
still
cut.
white belt at the time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, I had cut a little weight before, and I had gotten double gold and subbed everyone on the time I cut weight. So I was like, oh, I gotta cut weight, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't know, like, oh shit, you don't know what you're doing with weight cutting. You cut 19, 20 pounds, you're gonna die, bro.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I didn't eat anything the whole 4 days, and then like the last 2 days I didn't drink anything, and then I went in the sauna for like 10 minutes in, 5 minutes out, like for like 6 hours, bro.
Wow.
Like I looked like death, you know.
Yeah.
But I made it.
Nice.
And then I subbed all 5 in US Open and white belt. So like only have 5 minutes. You know, I tapped everybody. Oh, impressive! Tap 5 white belts. Congratulations. but in the semifinal and the final, I caught inverse buggies.
Wow.
So, and then, you know, my professor was, I got the video, like him and Professor Eduardo and Alan were right there, and he's just jumping in the air, screaming like, yeah, you know, and he's like, shake your opponent's hand, fool, and like, don't celebrate, like, you know, and yeah, and then so then he gave me blue belt on the podium at US Open.
Wow, man.
Bro.
That's really impressive. You know, you hear of, you know, people inventing submissions all the time. I always, you know, being a traditionalist and an old school guy, I always say like the purple belt is where guys really start getting inventive, you know, and start creating things.
Sure.
But now, you know, with this, like, you know, for you to be able to hit go-go platas and buggies in competition at white belt, like that's pretty impressive to have that skill level to develop a move, and not only that, to perfect it and work on it to where it's actually working in competition.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I was just obsessed with both. Actually, I was obsessed with go-go platas before I found Buggy.
Yeah.
Like, just like, it's all I wanted to do. And then when I found Buggy, it's like, I just was so obsessed to develop that and get better at that. And now it's, dude, it's everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, people still think of it like, okay, so Rogan was talking about it with what's his name, something Maynard from Tool, the guy from Tool.
Oh yeah.
And Rogan was like, you can't do a buggy choke, because the dude was like, let me learn triangles first, right? He's like, I want to learn buggy choke, but I want to learn it when I have like 3 weeks to work on it with someone who really gets it. I was like, me. Anyway, but Rogan's like, you can't do a buggy choke. Oh, buggy choke's a good thing to learn, though, man. I saw someone pull one off in the UFC the other day, and I had to kind of, nobody knew what the fuck it was. I had to kind of explain it. And then he was talking about how, like, you know, he asked this guy to pull up video, and the guy pulled up the wrong video, but an even cooler video, because the one Rogan was talking about, the dude got slammed on his head and then knocked out. I know the video he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because he overcommitted to the squeeze, and he doesn't know how to control the posture and prevent the posture stand slam.
Right.
Which I have counters to all that shit, bro. Like, that people don't even know yet. Like, but the video that dude pulled up was the video of dude getting buggied to sleep in some European. I want to say it was in Russia or something. The language, I don't know what language it was. It sounded like Russian to me.
Yeah.
But dude got buggied to sleep, and that buggy actually won submission of the year in their organization.
Wow.
And so dude tried to posture, buggy choke, dude punched dude in the gut, and his posture broke back down. And then he buggied him so hard to sleep that when he stood up, he like threw him off like a dead body, bro. And Rogan's watching this on the show, and he's like, "Oh, he's out." And he's like, "It's so sick, bro." So like, but you could tell the way he's talking about it, he still thinks of it like most jiu-jitsu does. They still think of it as one move from one position. They think of it as that one hips turned toward your opponent with your hands gabled and your legs triangled from bottom side control.
Not
That's
really
what people think
not
of as
realizing
the
there's a
buggy
system,
choke.
right?
Exactly, bro. It's everywhere. You can enter it and finish it from mount, from top side control, from top north south. You can enter it and finish it from having their back, from them having your back and you escaping one hook. You can enter and finish it from top Keisugatame, from bottom Keisugatame, from bottom side control, from bottom north south, like at least 2 ways from bottom north south. There's like, it must be like 10 entries from bottom side control variations. You can do it from double, you can enter it and finish it from double butterfly guard, single butterfly half guard, regular half guard, lockdown, multiple ways to enter it from rubber guard. Like, dude, it's you can enter it while standing. You can enter it while they take you down to almost every position. If they take you down to anything other than mounting you or neon bellying you, you can enter it.
Yeah. That's
like it's everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
And dude, there's so many like advanced transitions and additions and finishes in the system. It's just like, so when Rogan's talking about it's a good thing to learn, thinking it's one thing that has fatal flaws of overcommitting to the squeeze and having no option to control, being slammed on your head,
right.
and still thinking it's a good thing to learn.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these guys don't even know, bro. I'm a Buggy Choke Joe on the table. Put me on, Joe. I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, man. That's crazy though. Like, it's got to be, something rewarding, or I don't even know the correct term, but to hear guys like Joe Rogan, experienced jiu-jitsu people, and hearing all these people talk about it, man, and wanting to know more. And, let me ask you this. So you come from a really awesome academy, being at Ralph Gracie's, and, Master Ralph has always been known for his grinding style, his hard-nosed training, and, our lineage is through Caesar. So
nice. I trained with Caesar for a while.
Yeah,
nice.
my instructors in the early days when Ralph and Caesar were together did a lot of training with Ralph. So
nice.
Hearing the stories that I've heard about Ralph, I've never had the pleasure to actually meet him in person, but all the stories I've heard, he's a traditionalist, he's a hard nose, he's tough, and what was Master Ralph's response to the Buggy Choke when he first saw it? What was his take on it? What did he say? Did he want to know more about it, or what was the deal?
Man, it was such an honor to get to show him, bro. Like, it was just like, I like huge honor to get to show him. And I actually had the chance to show him and a bunch of high-level black belts very deeply the system. And, bro, like, he didn't really, he didn't really say much about it, but he let me show him thoroughly. And for me, that was like probably like one of the hugest honors of my life, bro. Like that I actually got to show in depth. Like, of course, for me, I'm like, if he thinks it's bullshit, he's gonna stop me. He's not gonna watch. He's not gonna have his guys watch.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't really say, anything. He just, but he was just at promotions. It was such an honor, man, to get my brown belt with Master right there, and just one of the things he said in the promotions that really stuck with me, like I was crying, man, with listening to his talking about, like, he said every time he gives a belt to somebody, or a belt or a stripe, and you can see it, the way when he puts it on, then he does the way he ties it. You can see the moment he's doing this thing. He said, every time I give the belt or the stripe, I say a prayer for loyalty and honor to be in the student's life. And like this is not just a team. This is not just a like a sport. This is our family.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, he's the realest real, man. He's
Yeah.
the realest real.
He is, man. He's a legend in the jiu-jitsu game. I'm so glad, he got the coral belt, and
Dude.
like, obviously all the Gracies are well,
Right.
well, world renowned for their Gracie jiu-jitsu, but Half has a unique style, man, and
Yeah.
he's a special person, right? He's
Yeah.
different. He's
Yeah.
built different.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk about a couple different things with that. Now you brought up your belt promotion. Now I reposted the video that I saw, because when I saw it, I
Thanks,
was
man.
damn impressed, brother.
Thanks, bro.
I love the gauntlets, and I had talked to Kurt Osiander a couple weeks ago about gauntlets, and
Cool.
and sometimes they're going away, but he said it's almost like a religious ceremony, and that's kind of what we came to with that. And man, talk about religious ceremony. Watching you walk that gauntlet, man, you were so focused. Like, it was like nothing was going on around you, almost like you were so, like, almost in a trance, brother.
Totally.
Yeah. So talk
Totally.
about what was going on in your mind through that gauntlet, and I'll tag the gauntlet. I'll repost it with the
Sick.
podcast and everything, because
Sick.
it was crazy. But
Yeah.
what was going on through the mind?
Yeah, for sure. So, when I got my purple belt, I had to kind of hype myself up for the gauntlet. Like, that's it. Like, oh, it doesn't hurt me, but just stupid,
Yeah.
And I did all right, but this time I was like, okay, man, you're not gonna do any of that puffy, hypey bullshit. You're not gonna flinch. You're not gonna hide. You're not gonna guard. You're not gonna talk. You're gonna be silent. You're gonna welcome the pain as a gift that you're thankful for from each one of these guys that are helping you get better. You're going to welcome all the pain, just like the pain of life that's coming, as your teacher. You need to have the weak parts of you burned out of you.
Yeah.
And so that you can be a better father, so that you can be a better husband, so you can take care of your family. And the pain of life is unavoidable, and the more we try to hide and avoid it and guard from it and flinch from it and pretend like life is not going to be profound suffering and we're all going to fucking die and get hit with horrible losses and despair, like, the more you, like, welcome it, the more you want it. Yeah, embrace it. Exactly. Not like I'm a sadist or anything, like, but the more you understand the meaning, you remind yourself of the meaning, like, this hard part in my life, this painful thing in my life, this problem, this is making me stronger. This is making me better if I don't hide and do my best. So I love what you said, like a religious ceremony, because it can be an opportunity to strengthen your soul, man.
Yeah. 100%.
And so, like, I watched how I did it this time compared to last time. And, like, even how I did it this time, like, back in the day, they didn't just whip you, bro. They kicked your ass.
Yeah.
Like someone was just telling me recently, like, bro, after they whipped you, take you down, and everyone's beating you and kicking you, bro. You got, like, bruises everywhere. Like, like, put your shit on, bro. You scared people.
Yeah.
So it's not like I think I'm hard because I did this gauntlet good. I'm not hard, bro. Like, I don't even fight. Like, I'm just, fucking. So, but I really, like you said, like, trance. And it's kind of like, every time before I compete, I imagine, like, this circle of circle. I don't know what exactly of what, but it's like, every time I step on the mat to compete and bow, like, I'm in this circle of energy, like this like
It's force filled, right? Kind of.
Yeah, it's totally like force field, like a courage and purpose, and like the purpose of why we're doing this. It's not just for fun. It's not just like it's meaningful. It's to try to help other people, to try to inspire my brothers, to try to show my family and anybody that like do the right thing and try your best,
Yeah.
and it really lifts, you can really lift up people even in a small way,
Yeah.
and like by doing your best, and anybody can do that, because every time you see somebody, like there was my friend Gabe, man, he was in crutches. He just had the ACL and meniscus surgery 3 weeks ago. Bro is in there doing the push-ups and getting the whipping with it.
Yeah.
I remember how bad my ACL surgery hurt.
Yeah.
3 weeks out, bro. Oh, the pain he's in his leg is way worse than the whipping.
Yeah.
So like my dad saw that. My dad and my little brother were there, and they were like, man, you just have to admire that you can't help but just. So like those little things you can do anywhere in life where you do the right thing, you do the hard thing, you do your best. You should be proud, because you have the chance, and you should try hard and be bolstered by the fact that you're helping everyone around you.
Yeah.
And then that's what I was thinking about, all of that as I was about to go through the whipping, and I was like, and then to have the chance to try to show the strength of my mind.
Yeah.
With Master Half right there, and all my professors, all my teammates right there, and my dad and my little brother there. Like, and I know my wife's going to see it, and my daughter's going to see it, and how many people are going to see it. Like, I don't even know how many people. It's like, I don't know how many thousand people saw it. It's like, and I want to serve all of you guys, man.
Yeah. Something spoke to me in that, man. When I saw it right away, I brought up a couple weeks ago or something like that, maybe a few months ago on the podcast, there was a guy I saw, and he was like staring all of his teammates down, giving them an evil look afterwards. But there was something different about yours, man, to where like you just saw this crazy focus, and crazy in a good way, obviously. But
no, that's a compliment, bro. Thank you.
You just saw this focus, and like, with hearing what was going on in your mind, you could almost see it on your body.
Yeah.
Like there was just a determination, like you were so in the zone in that gauntlet, man. And not a small gauntlet by any means. Let's talk about the fun part. How many people were in that gauntlet? Like,
I believe there was more than 130 people in the building.
Yeah, definitely looked like it.
Yeah.
And no knock on anybody else, but there were people behind you, and doing the blocks and covers, and, and you're just standing there.
One guy ran out of the line 3 different times, and they put him back in, and he ran out 3 times, bro. And then hopefully I can do a lot better at black belt.
Yeah, man, that's pretty awesome though. And obviously, you're addicted to jiu-jitsu. You're probably a lifer, obviously, at this point.
Oh yeah.
And just talk about like, jiu-jitsu, we were talking about the bond, right? And going through those tough situations with your brothers. Something about jiu-jitsu that I love, it's all walks of life. I don't know what you do for your career. You don't know what I do, but we're all joined into one thing, and we can all agree, and we can all see the same thing and the same visions. And regardless if you're a white belt going to blue or a brown belt going to black,
totally,
you guys are united. And there's just something special about it, man. I looked at someone the other day and I said, jiu-jitsu will change your life. And
absolutely right.
That's all I can really say is just look him in the eyes and say, you want to improve your life, not just areas of your life, but your entire life.
Yep, exactly.
Train jiu-jitsu.
Dude, absolutely right. I was riding to the airport from visiting my brother in Washington, and he's been training for a couple of years now. U.S. Marine, and he's been training for a couple of years, and he's still just getting smashed. He's a white belt. And he's like just feeling like plateaued and feeling like, man, everyone still kills me. I've been trying so hard. I've been getting injured and bruised, and for how long? He loves it, but he was kind of like, he competed a few times and he just gets killed every time, right? And I was like, basically talking him into not quitting, like not like he was gonna quit. He didn't say so, but also it sounded like to me. I was like, because I know how it feels. How it feels. It's like, bro, it's hard to go and do something that's really, really hard, that you suck at, that you just get pounded and destroyed over and over and over for years. It's like, well, how insane do you have to be to keep going? It's like,
Yeah. There's little reward in the early days of jiu-jitsu. Like there's you go into the gym, you get beat up, you do competitions. Most of the time you get beat up in the early days. So you're doing one of the hardest things in the world, in my opinion, and there's very little reward. And even if you do win a match or two here and there, you get a gold medal, and then it's back to the gym getting your ass kicked by the same people that have been kicking your ass.
Yeah, exactly. So I was telling him, like, hey man, like, just like you said, it's like you're doing, like, just showing up. Because like most people, their ego cannot handle going in and getting smashed over and over and over. And every time you do that, you're getting better. You're getting like better as a better person. Like you're getting humbled, and you're getting stronger. And even though it doesn't feel like it, you are getting better in jiu-jitsu too. And it's like, this is not only training you for jiu-jitsu, this is training you for life. Because if you can keep going in this, nothing's ever going to stop you anywhere. Like your job, and even if your job is super, super hard, or you're starting a new career, you're launching a business, you're starting a new relationship, whatever it is, it's not even close to as hard as getting smashed in jiu-jitsu for years without success. And I was trying to reinforce with him, like, bro, you should be so proud of your effort. And that's the thing to reinforce, is the effort, not the wherever you are in the skill, not the goal, but like the effort and the hard work. Because it's like, if you develop pride in that, it's like, that's, if you include that into your identity, experientially proving that that is who you are by doing it over and over and over, both by going to training and going to compete, even when you're getting smashed in both. It's like, dude, that will change who you are. That will make you so strong that the kind of things that make people suicidal, it won't even frustrate you. You'll be like, oh, cool, a gift, an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to get stronger. From like, you could lose all the money in the world, everything you have, and have nothing and negative money. And you'd be like, oh, cool, I'm going to overcome this. And some people just kill themselves off of that. Like, or like you lose the love of your life or some relationship. And of course you're sad, you're broken, your attachment is all wrecked. But you believe in yourself because you proved it to yourself that you're the kind that gets through and keeps going and doesn't give up. Like, that's priceless, bro. Right? Like life changing, like you said. You know,
it instills like a life skill, right? That fight or flight. When your back's against a wall, and not just in the gym, in life, you really learn, like, hey, this isn't the worst thing possible. I have a beautiful life, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And man, talk about the consistency factor, right? And, a lot of people, especially earlier jiu-jitsu guys, they don't understand the consistency is where everything is in jiu-jitsu. And if you can only make one day a week, be consistent with that one day, right?
Right.
And there's some sort of factor with consistency in jiu-jitsu. Obviously, with anything in life, you want to be consistent, but it really makes a difference in your career. Talk about, what we can help others with the consistency factor in jiu-jitsu.
Totally. I mean, huge part of it is showing up for your teammates, and really making that bond and helping each other. Because not only it helps them, and it gives you a sense of contribution and purpose, but it also, that helps you be consistent. That helps you keep working on yourself, because it's like, I'm not just in this alone. I'm not just doing this for myself. We're coming up as a team. This is my family. This is my brother. Like, I'm going to make sure I show up for them, kind of thing. And that helps you show up more for you. So that helps a lot in being consistent. And then, bro, it's like every time you go on a consistent, you show up consistently, or you compete consistently, bro, you just get so much better, so much faster. Like, just recently, like some of the weeks I trained 2 times a week. Some of the some of the weeks I trained like 4 times a week, but it's like I was competing almost every single weekend. It was like 4 weekends back to back, and then like 2 weekends before that, and then like 3 weeks after that, and then I got stuff coming up now. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I got at least one seminar a month and at least one competition a month, and I'm like just going to all different, trying to drop in all these other places, trying to spread Buggy Choke, trying to set up a hell of seminars.
Yeah.
I got a meeting tomorrow to set up another seminar. We got a seminar March 29th coming up at Ralph Gracie Berkely. All
Nice.
proceeds go to sponsoring Mongolian kids, Ralph Gracie Mongolia, through the Guardian Project. Um, and we got a seminar at Art of Entanglement, April 26th. There'll be another one on the books probably as of hopefully tomorrow morning. I got a meeting setting up another one. It's like consistency is so critically important for that immersion. It's like
Mm-hmm.
for anything you're trying to learn, it's like, bro, if you like work on it an hour, uh say you work on it 5 hours a week, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's 5 1 hour classes. But if you go and you work on it for like 10 hours for a whole day, like you go to like class in the morning, and then you stretch and you watch and you study, and then you go to class in the afternoon, you stretch, watch, and study, and you go to class at that night. Like, of course, the next day you're going to be just dead,
Oh
right?
yeah.
If you,
Yeah.
especially, I mean, even one class, you feel like a fridge fell on you if you're not training regularly. But if you do immersion learning, especially you keep consistent, and then you do like once a week or once every 2 weeks, like immersion learning, bro,
Yeah.
you will learn so fast. Like I used to do those 2 open mats I mentioned, the Half Gracie Berkeley 10 a.m. Right before that 8:30 a.m. 10th Planet Walnut
One, two.
Creek, and then in San Jose there was I don't know if it's still there. I hope so, but I heard it. I heard it wasn't, but then yesterday I heard the guy's still around, so I think it might be still going on. One World Jiu-Jitsu,
Oh yeah.
6 to 8 p.m. So I used to do like 5.5 hours of open mats. I didn't do it every Sunday, but I usually went to at least one of them every Sunday, and some days I would do all three. And it's like, bro, you get so much better, like
Yeah.
super fast. And the other thing for helping you stay consistent in training is sign up for competitions.
Yeah.
When my daughter was born, I was like, okay, there's no excuse ever again.
Yeah.
Like I'm on point, doing my best every day, no matter what. And the having the deadline of you got a competition coming up this weekend. It's like you eat better, you
Yeah.
sleep better, you like you train more, you
Yeah.
stretch more, you're thinking about jujitsu, you're studying jujitsu more, your mindset is right, and you're on that straight up path,
Yeah.
and there's no 20 minutes to waste watching a TV show. There's no 20, at least
Yeah.
if you're watching a show, like at least be
It's
stretching or
jujitsu.
something. It's like every chance you get, you're doing
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and bro, like it will change your life. It
Yeah.
will change your life.
Something about the discipline, like when you are competing regularly, right? You have to take care of things, right? Or the outcome. You're going to
Exactly.
go in there, you're
You're
going
gonna
to
get
waste
wrecked.
your money, right? These
Yeah.
tournaments cost money to do. So
Yeah.
you're going to go in there, you're going to waste your money, you're going to have a bad performance, and then you're going to beat yourself up after
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
You go home after losing your first match,
Yeah.
drive an hour and a half home.
Yeah, maybe longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild though, but you hit the nose on the, or you hit the hammer on the head, or whatever the term is. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, you're on point when it comes to that. Now, do you get people coming up to you at competitions, recognizing you for your contributions to the community?
So crazy, dude. Like, I mean, like I never even knew I never thought I could come up with something.
Yeah.
I'm some white belt, like I was in Texas in say it was like 2020, maybe early 2022. I was in Texas competing. I was just like, oh, Joe Rogan moved to Texas, to Austin, and that's my name. I was like, I'm gonna go compete out there for my comeback tournament after I blew out my neck, blown disc, and I was out for 2 years, a little over 2 years. And I got in shape, and I was like real fit, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a comeback. My neck's better. I'm not a shriveled Holocaust survivor on my left side anymore. Yeah, bro, I went out and I subbed all 5. I got 3 buggy system subs, and What was the question?
So we were just talking about people recognizing you at tournaments.
Oh yeah. So I was standing in line in Texas, and this guy's like, "Oh, I know you. Oh, you're the Buggy Choke guy, right?" I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" Like, so like here and there, it's and way more than like recognizing me. What I'm stoked about is like of course, how could that not feel just super cool, like,
Yeah.
but like what I'm super stoked about is how like everyone knows the Buggy Choke. It's like even they don't know me, it's like they know Buggy Choke. It's
Oh,
like you
yeah.
call any gym in the world and they're like, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like a crazy thing too was a couple other things on that. It's like my little brother was competing. Another of my brothers training a lot. I think both of them are going to be lifers. But Chris was in I think it was his first competition, and to his credit, he actually got guillotined to sleep, but the ref didn't know he was asleep, and he actually came back and he ended up winning that match. It was crazy, bro. I think he actually got slept twice, if
That's
I remember.
badass.
Yeah, bro, he's like 17 years old. I'm like, let's go. Anyway, but he was trying to buggy somebody in that competition, right? And there were these 3 or 4 kids to my left. One was like 5 years old, one was 8 years old. Of course, those are guesses, these little kids. And they were like, he's trying to buggy him. He's trying to buggy him. I was like, the kids know? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Then I was at this Bellator fight with the team. One of our teammates was fighting, and there's this dude, this MMA fighter. I don't know if you know Violent Bob Ross.
I'm not.
He goes by
familiar.
Violent Bob Ross. Anyway, he there's like a line of 10 guys waiting to take a picture with him, right? And then I shout over to him. I was like, "Hey, didn't your boy Lucas Clay just hit a buggy in his fight?" Right? And he looks, because Lucas Clay, bro, MMA fighter. I think he has like 3 in MMA, bro. 3 buggy finishes.
That's impressive.
Right? So then, and I knew these two were like buddies, right? So then and he goes, "Oh shit, I gotta get a picture with you." So he comes over, he gets a picture with me, and he posts it, right? I saw he posted it later. But I'm with my jiu-jitsu friends, and like, I sit back down, and my friend Calder Powers, he was like, "That's the coolest thing I ever seen in my life." I was like,
yeah, that's badass, man.
It's crazy, bro. It's like, it always makes me think of something Jim Carrey said. He's like, how privileged is it to have done something that makes it so that when people meet you, they present their best selves to you.
Right.
Like,
they want to look
what
good.
an honor,
Yeah.
Like, because I know better than any of you guys. I'm fucking nobody.
Yeah.
I'm at least as fucked up as any of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm not special,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah. It's but that's probably like why something like this is going on, right? Because you're so humble about it, right? You're not trying to be famous for this, You're
Well, I am now, but
yeah. But you know what I mean? The initial roots of it are pure, and
that's true.
It's very awesome, brother. And the thing about like inventing a submission, right? Like you never know if it's going to catch, right? You never know if it's going to catch on to the whole scene, or if it's just going to be something popular in your gym or whatever. Recently I just ran into Jason Von Flew, right? And obviously the Von Flew choke, everyone, people made it famous in the UFC, but just thinking about that, like, did he originally, like, when he was first using the Von Flew choke, I mean, what was his intentions, right? You never know.
Yeah, totally.
So it's just really impactful, man. And I like how humble you are, man. And
Thanks,
I
wasn't just to be clear, I wasn't like, of course it went to my head at first. I was like, oh my God, girls like me. And I had like 3 nightmare situations and made a bunch of mistakes, like, back to back, and got crushed.
Yeah.
And then I had the couple of injuries that took me out for like 2 years plus each.
Yeah.
And I had to be humbled, bro, because I wasn't, bro. I was cocky. I was an idiot.
Yeah. Let's talk about those injuries. You did mention an ACL injury and also a neck injury.
Yeah.
Talk about what the recovery was like going through that, but
sure.
more of not the physical recovery, but the mental recovery, because that's the biggest thing jiu-jitsu guys deal with, right?
Yeah, for sure.
When
Big
we're
time.
incapable of doing something, right?
Dude, it like it takes you out of the game. And so, yeah, great question. So, just from guy passing my half guard and pressing on my lower leg, my ACL just blew. Um, and then the neck injury was from I didn't tap when I should have tapped, ego,
Yeah.
to like a really effective shoulder pressure, neck crank. Anyway, so the neck injury was a bunch of blown discs, and my whole left side shriveled. My left arm was like bone, constant spasms in the tricep, the sternocleidomastoid, neck spasms, pec spasms so bad I thought it was maybe my heart, lat spasms, fire nerve pain. My hand was completely numb.
Wow.
All of this went on for over a year and a half, and the spasms were there for over 2 years. Um, yeah, like they were just totally wrecked. So then the ACL, like I just kept training, but then like my knee would dislocate from nothing. Like, chunks of meniscus be like feelable from outside, like they'd be like protruding out of the side of my knee,
Yeah.
and like my knee would just dislocate like from nothing, bro. I wake up in bed and it would be dislocated. I'd be just gently swimming and it'd be dislocated. I'd be trying to have sex, it'd dislocate. I'd be
Wow.
like walking and dislocate. Going down a couple stairs, it dislocated. And every time it dislocated, swell up for like 2 weeks
Yeah.
or more. Um,
Did you pop it
so,
back in yourself or?
well, yeah, for the first probably 100 and 200 dislocations, I was able to externally rotate my foot and then fully extend my quad, and it would pop back into socket. But then that stopped working, and I just kind of had to like hang it and like wiggle it, and it kind of went back into socket by itself, like after like 10 minutes usually, but it never even felt like it was rightly inside. It was just wrecked, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even on the surgeon's eval, the documentation, it's like he didn't even know what to call some of the stuff. He said something in the posterior with complex morphology. I'm like, he's got all these official names for what's wrong with the ACL total separation. The meniscus is all jacked and floating around, chunks everywhere, and then he doesn't even know what to call the shit in the back. Basically, I got like a herniation, some weird shit blowing out the back of my knee too.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, so both of those, the knee, I knew it wasn't going to take me out permanently. I knew I could get surgery. Even I didn't have insurance. Once I got the insurance, I got the surgery.
Yeah.
But with the neck, I also didn't have insurance too. I actually never even got seen for the neck, because I was like, bro, I know they're going to tell me you have to have surgery,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say fuck you, and and I don't want the surgery anyway, and you're not cutting in there,
My
bro.
spine. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I mean the pain was real bad, but it wasn't like a 10 out of 10. It was like a 6.5 out of 10, but it was constant. So
Yeah.
like, bro, it just eats at you. But
Yeah.
more than the pain and the spasms, they were constant, day and night, bro, no break, for over a year and a half. And the spasms continue for another like 8 months. Like, the pain didn't improve until a year and a half later. It started to slightly improve.
Yeah.
So, a year and a half in,
Yeah.
you don't think it's ever going away.
Yeah. You think it's permanent.
6 months in, you don't think it's ever going away. So it's like, you can imagine, and a lot of you guys know, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got shit like this, maybe worse than this.
Yeah.
Like you have to find ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, I'm not gonna do opiates. I'm not touching that shit. Like, if I do ibuprofen all the time, I'm gonna get ulcers in my stomach. So like I did ibuprofen for a while, but then it was just like I started into meditating a lot. Like, not just like, oh, wait, sit down, empty my mind, but like guided meditation with like infinite love healing energy, and gratitude cultivation, and goal, like putting yourself into goals manifested now already, like seeing what you'll see, feeling what you'll feel, kind of things like that. And then like the gratitude part is like, putting yourself on your best podium ever, like your greatest achievement or whatever. Or like one that I do right now all the time, that comes to mind when I'm doing the gratitude stuff is my baby daughter holding onto my finger.
Yeah.
The first time she was breastfeeding right after she got born, it's just
Yeah.
like just stuff like that. Like, and it could be little or big. And just like, so anyway, started doing a lot of meditations, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Dr. Joe Dispenza, all this stuff on free on YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
Deepak Chopra, hell of free meditations. Just find stuff that you like. Like, there's such a variety. You find something you like, bro.
Yeah.
You find something that fits for you, because that's super individual kind of
Yeah.
process,
It is.
and so I started doing that a lot, and of course stretching, like doing yoga, like I say yoga, but it's just stretching.
Yeah.
I never like officially studied yoga. It's just I just do stretches for jiu-jitsu while listening to meditations,
Yeah.
and that helped a lot. And then because like when you put yourself in those goal dream creations, like one of which of course was trying to having an outcome where my neck was healed and stuff, so visualizing that and experiencing that as if it had already happened while I was still in the shit.
Yeah.
Like it kind of gives you like this dopamine
Mm-hmm.
payoff, and that has some pain relieving effects, even though usually they didn't help the pain, but it kind of gives you like a good feeling,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I did a lot of that, like sending like infinite love healing energy to the injured part. Like it's like whatever your beliefs are, like you could do like God energy, God's love, God's
Yeah.
healing, whatever, like but like for me, I'm not really denominational or sectic.
Yeah.
I kind of do all. I just started using every religion.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just like, what? I'll try them all, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like, I gotta,
There's got to be one that works, right?
yeah. So I'm doing like there's a lot. Just if you look up like healing and healing meditations, enlightenment meditations, is like all this different stuff. It's like super worthwhile, and mainly it was like how I coped. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna do this to heal my shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fucked. I cannot fix this. It's never going away. With the neck one, it was so debilitating.
Yeah.
Like I actually took like I fought in a world championship, and I took like 2 super fights even after it was wrecked. I wasn't even able to train, but I was like, I might win anyway, right? And they're like, hey, you want to fight this black belt? I was like, yep. I'm a blue belt. It was like, yep, yeah, you want to fight this brown belt? Yep. and then I, it got worse and worse. So I was like, oh shit, it was bad, bro.
Yeah.
So like the neck one is the thing that had me thinking the unthinkable.
Yeah.
That I could never train jiu-jitsu again. That's like
the biggest fear. Yeah.
You would never think that, no matter what injury comes to me, I will never give up. Of course, I'll always overcome it. And like I mean, a year and a half in, bro.
Yeah.
Constant horrible pain, spasms like a motherfucker. I look like Gollum, bro, from Lord of the Rings. I had coworkers saying shit like that, like behind my back. I could hear him, like, fucking here comes Smeagol. I look like a goddamn bone on the side, bro. Like, it was bad, and I don't blame them. They were right.
Yeah.
And but like that had me thinking like I'm out.
Yeah.
And I thought I would never think something like that, And it's just like that was worse than the pain, like way worse than the pain, thinking I could never train again, like ruin my life.
Yeah.
And then so it's like I went from this huge high of like blowing up worldwide, and then like ego just exploded, and then just like ruined. And constant pain but I needed it, bro. I needed to be broken. I needed to be humbled. I needed to be reminded that like everybody is in pain that you know nothing about. Everybody is suffering hardcore shit that you will never know about.
Mm-hmm.
And you're over here, Austin, thinking, oh, you're the man and all this, you're cool and all about you. And it's like you have the opportunity to help so many people, and you're over here focusing on, oh, you're special. Like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
Like you don't know, life is hard for these people, man. You can help. Yeah. Like you need to fix yourself. So like I really took it to heart. Like, this is not ever going to go away, and I'm going to use it to make myself better for these people. every time I'm in pain, I'm going to remind myself, because the pain's constant. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I'm going to remind myself every moment I feel the pain, everyone's in pain. And it's my job to try to help. It's my job to try to help anyone that I can,
Yeah.
because it's like they're in pain worse than this. And I know nothing about it.
How much of
You know,
how much? Sorry to interrupt, but how much
no,
of this do you think was the universe kind of bringing you back to reality? You
100%,
know, like
100%.
when we kind of get in our own head and start to change our own thoughts and things like that. The universe has a way of, hey,
100%.
I'm still in control here.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what it was. That's
yeah,
exactly what it was, dude.
yeah,
And so I used it as like as a constant reminder that other people are in pain, and my purpose is to try to help. And so since I knew what it was like to be in pain, I knew that that mattered.
yeah.
So then again, that dopamine payoff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then also at the same time, it's like pain is I made pain a constant reminder of how grateful I am to be alive, instead of focusing on, oh, my life is ruined, I can't ever train again. It was like, you're alive and you should be so grateful.
Yeah.
And so I I turned it into like a constant reminder to be grateful, constant reminder to be not just compassionate, but in striving service to help other people.
Yeah.
I'm a psychiatric nurse by profession for like 15 years, and that mindset shift it just changed everything.
Oh yeah. It's easy for people with injuries to fall into a really deep depression, and sometimes it's people can't get you out of it. You
Yeah,
have to
you have to.
you have to pull yourself out, and
Yeah.
so let's be clear. You never had surgery on your neck or anything like
Nope.
that?
Never even got seen by a doc.
Wow. That's the power of the mind, and the mind is one of the most powerful things in this whole thing that we're in, man. Whether you think it's a
Yeah.
simulation or a world or a
Yeah.
heaven or whatever it is, man, the power of the mind is so strong, and you have the power in your mind to create the outcomes you want.
Totally.
Whether it be personal, professional, or in your body, you do have that power. And if more people would tap into that and realize that, like, I opened my own gym last year here in
Congrats.
Stockton. Yeah.
Sick.
And
Oh, dude.
something, brother, I never thought would happen, but
Yeah.
it started to become a reality, and I started to believe it, and I started to push towards it. And, people talk about setting goals. I kid you not, 2024, I had 6 goals, and I put them up in my garage, and that was kind of my man space. And I would
Sick.
see those goals every single day. One of them was to open a gym. The
Nice.
other one was to get my black belt. Right?
Let's
2 things
go.
that I didn't even think were
Let's
in
go.
the works.
Yeah.
Last year, both of those things happened.
Let's go, bro.
So putting those goals in front of you, being able to look at those and understand, it does something to the mind to where you start to believe it.
Big time.
And when you can see it and you can believe it, it just kind of happens. Things fall into place,
Right.
maybe not like you thought, but
Right.
the universe starts to shift, and a change
Totally.
starts to happen. And,
Totally.
it's very, very powerful. If people would tap into that just a little bit more, they'd be
Dude.
amazed at what can happen.
Absolutely. That's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it, like I really believe it's so much so that even though I believe in that, like, and I've have so many experiential proofs in my life that that's a fact, I think that even I have no idea exactly how profoundly true that is.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal. It's like in the actual design of our brains. Like it's in our very core nature, like the reticular activating system.
Yeah.
It's like if you put that goal up there and you see it and you actually aim at it, you'll start noticing stuff that you wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah.
that is in like contribution towards that or in pursuit of that goal. It's like, bro, it's down to our very primal design, like evolutionarily too, because like we're super visually based, and like we're aiming creatures, you know, with goals and with like what we focus on visually, like for food or like just super primal consideration. Like, bro, it's unreal. It's like it's unreal how true what you
Well,
just
yeah,
said
it's.
is,
I mean, you brought it up. It's like you go to a. I mean, I'm not a huge fast food guy, but you go to a fast food restaurant, you see this crazy looking burger on the menu or whatever it is, right? And you get it. How often does it ever look like the picture? No.
for sure.
But the same thing, that visual is what attracts us to it, right? And you
Right.
know, draws us to ordering that hamburger or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, man. Like, so talk about what future goals you have. I know obviously you're wanting to spread the buggy around to the world, and something that, you know, obviously I'm a huge fan of. I want to see it all over the place now.
Thanks, bro.
I'm really happy it's from California.
Yeah, buddy.
But what are your future goals with your jiu-jitsu journey, the buggy choke, everything in general?
For sure. So like yourself, congratulations, first of all, on the gym and your black belt. Holy shit.
Thank you.
That's sick, man. So like yourself, my goal is Ralph Gracie black belt. And of course, you know, it's been a dream of mine for a lot of years now, to open my own school as well.
Wonderful.
So both of those are in the future. And also, much more immediately, I'm actually filming the Buggy System instructional this week on the 18th and 19th of March in LA. So I hired the same production and marketing team that Mike Tyson, Matthew McConaughey, and Tony Robbins hired for their production and marketing. So it's like, you know, like 30 grand a year plus I'm flying a bunch of people in and putting them up for, you know, so it's costing me about 40 grand to produce this thing. And the way I look at it is, if I make nothing off of it, it's a worthy investment. Like, this is like my life's work. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get it out to the people, you know? And, like, you know, it's like, I got to do it right before I die, you know?
Right.
And we never know, man. You never know. You never know. I've had a lot of friends gone, man, you know, so you never know. So I'm super stoked and just feel like so privileged to get the chance to do this big, you know, and have such a great team supporting it. So, I mean, Alexei, who we talked about, he's going to be down there. Big Dave, who we talked about, he's going to be down there. Alex Kanders, we taled about, he's going to be down there. Rose Gracie is flying out from Florida. I'm like,
that's
oh
crazy.
my God.
That's awesome.
It's going to be so sick. So it's just so, like, it's just an unreal fucking movie, bro. Like, you can imagine, like, I'm such a fanboy of all these people, and then this shit is happening in my life. It's like unreal, bro. Like, I could never dream or think it could happen like this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so crazy. So you know, of course, I dream of it, the Buggy System getting out to everybody so that everyone knows how to do it. Do buggies from all these positions, not just the one, but not only that, know how to do buggies without getting slammed on their head. Well, you know, controlling your opponent's posture, knowing how to break your opponent's posture and keep it controlled from the various entries, knowing what to do if they gain partial posture, to either break it back down or transition to taking mount, you know, or top side or top half with the choke still in. And then, of course, if they get full posture, how to disengage and clench or totally disengage without getting slammed on your head. Because, you know, you get picked up in a triangle and you don't have the underhook on the leg. It's like, bro, you better let go. You about to get slammed on your head and knock the fuck out, you know? So, you know, and then how to do buggies without hurting your knee, because I've seen a few ways people are doing it wrong and they're hurting their knees. And, you know, there's real simple fixes on just understanding technical detail of the right way to do it. It's like, it's not those are the wrong directional angles to squeeze anyway. It's like, you're not even making the choke worse for them. You're just breaking your own leg.
Right. You're hurting yourself.
Like, so there's simple fixes on all that. And then like, not only like how to get flexible for it in the ways that help you'd be able to do buggy system technique, but also like how the technical understanding that makes it so you don't even have to be that flexible.
Yeah.
Because it's much more about the
angles,
the tools and the keys to transition through the progressive positions than flexibility and bending yourself. It's like it's like unreal. It's like you just it's like the aha moment when you get it, and it's like, oh shit, with like, say with a triangle, once you learn about don't stay square, underhook their arm or underhook their leg to get that angle, it's like, oh shit, it gets way tighter. It's like, it's not, you don't have to even pull the head at that point. It's like you could, but it's like you don't even have to. Like there's so much stuff like that, and so much like counters to their counters. I got, of course, if you're getting buggied, you put a Von Flue shoulder pressure. I got the counter to that. So it's like counters to the counters. Of course, if you're getting buggied, you put the forearm frame blade on their neck. You got the counter to that. If you're getting buggied, for MMA, people think, oh, I could just elbow them in the face, strike them, slam them. I got counters to all of that, how to defend from that, how to prevent that. Like, I've been absolutely obsessed for over 10 years. So it's like, and in the organizations I competed in, if you slam your opponent on unconscious, you win. So it's like the guy's trying to pick me up and slam me. I'm not like speculating here. This is like thousands and thousands of hours, so it's and at the same time, it's like, even in the organizations where they're not supposed to slam you, I've seen, how many slams we've seen where it's like shit happened to Chris Vickers the other day. We're in the Masters division, no slam allowed, ADCC. He got his fucking slam, he still won. But dude, it's just unreal. And just like seeing the joy that people get when they buggy someone, it fucking makes you believe in yourself.
It does.
And I know personally, like from thousands of moments like that, it's like, bro, it makes you, it's like, oh my God, like it makes you feel so fucking cool, man. Like if you buggy someone, they're like, you motherfucker, you're not supposed to, you got me with that bullshit thing that's not supposed to work. Bro, and then you start catching upper belts with it. You makes you believe in yourself, bro. Like all of jiu-jitsu does that. Any submission does that. But this one, it's like, so many people think it's not supposed to work, that it's like, it's even more payoff, like it really is. It's really crazy. And so like, I want everyone to have that feeling, so they believe in themselves, because that's what bleeds into like their whole life, believing in yourself and like, and having that joy, having that like that transformative, like, oh shit, maybe I'm more than I thought. Oh shit, maybe I'm capable of shit I haven't imagined yet. And then it's like that open-mindedness and that joy and that positive energy. It's like that's actually the thing that one of the things I'm most grateful for is like, I know that energy is gonna go on when I die, through people buggy choking people. Like fuck me, they're not gonna remember me. That's fine. They're going to have that joy and that sense of belief in themselves that's going to be increased. And that's happening, like, as we've been on this, how many buggy chokes do you think people have hit in the world? And they've had that moment of like increase in their self-belief and their increase in their joy. And it's like, for me, I want to just do everything I can to magnify that while I'm still alive, because like that going on and growing, and everyone else that's helped it grow, is like, it's like a life of its own. It's way bigger than one person now, and like for me, it's like, that's so meaningful and so beautiful in the human community, that it's like I just want to grow that, bro, because it's like, it's already more meaningful than my whole life. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's like you can die at peace. It's just unreal.
I believe that people are meant to do certain things, right? And we necessarily may never know what it actually was. We may die and go on, and we may not ever find that out, but there's going to be generations after us that are looking into things, and limitations are something that usually are self-induced, right? Like we put them on ourselves. Maybe it was influenced by the way we were raised. Maybe our parents said something. Maybe a bully at school said something when we were younger, and then all of a sudden we set that limitation, right? I remember as a kid, man, I was a big WWE fan, right?
Nice.
And
hell yeah.
I used to tell my
Could
friends
you
in school.
smell what the rock?
I would tell my friends I'm gonna be a WWE wrestler, and they're like, no, that's not even possible. And
Right.
boom, that limitation got set.
Right.
And you know, I think that if we can take those blinders off, like you said, and really see the full potential, that's how to get the most out of our lives, you know,
Totally.
and not just in jiu-jitsu, in life.
Totally.
So, man, dude, Austin, it's been awesome having you on, man. And
Thanks, bro.
I got one more question, okay? And I've heard a couple different things on the Reddit forums. Who named the Buggy Choke? Where did this come from?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you asked. So Buggy Choke, it's called the Buggy Choke because me and my ex-girlfriend, we always called each other Buggy instead of honey, baby, sweetie, you know, pet names. So where that came from was Joy Lamb. She we were dating 7 years. Her favorite color is green, right? Lime green. So she had this lime green bathrobe, and one time she jumped out of the shower and jumped on me in mount, right? Like froggy position, like frog, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at her, and she's like just on top of me, like pinning me down, looking at me all cute. And she's like, no, I said, you look like a frog, you know, trying to be playful. And she goes, if I'm a frog, you're my Buggy. And she's kissing me, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just a hella cute moment, you know. And so we always called each other Buggy after that. My Buggy loons.
Yeah.
So like if you look on way back in my Facebook, which is hacked but it's still visible, the hackers really didn't do much with it. They just posted one weird post one time, and anyway, so I don't even know why. It's like I wish you guys, I'll pay you. Like, can I get it back?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm working on that. But if you go back on, just search Austin Hart's Facebook, you can verify, like, there's just like, before I even started jiu-jitsu heavily, we always just call each other Buggy.
Yeah.
So, you know, then when I found the choke, it's like, you know, of course I'm gonna call it the Buggy Choke. I don't know. It's just what I called it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I named it the day that I first hit it on Kang, but I don't know. I'm sure I came, you know, white belt, bro. I'm sure I came home like talking my ass off. I mean, I just can't stop talking about jiu-jitsu. And I come home, I hit this choke. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah, man. That's
but
interesting,
like,
though.
Talking with her about it, that we found it's like, it can be a sneak attack, because it's like, if you're on top, say in top half, setting it up, and you kind of like have a bad base on purpose to let them sweep you, you can lock it in deep as they're sweeping you, while they're focused on the sweep. They're not thinking, oh, he's putting me into a choke.
Right.
So we kind of brainstormed, and I physically played with a lot of different entries to it, especially once I've figured out that you can hit it from, like, you can turn your hips toward them, you can turn your hips away from them. Holy shit, you can do it from bottom side or bottom half when your hips are turned toward them. And then, like, started finding more and more variations and entries and traps and stuff, and it was just like, holy shit, you know. So I just always called it Buggy Choke.
Yeah,
but that's where it comes from.
Yeah, you know, you read all these different things, right? And you're wondering.
Most people don't know.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. Well, Austin, man, again, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. I know you could be at Ralph Gracie training right now, but you took the time to sit down with me and record. Brother, I appreciate you, man. I wish you nothing but success. And
thank you so much. Likewise.
And I know that
I gotta come out to Stockton, bro.
Yeah, man.
Text me the address. I'll come through.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Maybe we'll talk about getting you out here for a seminar too.
Oh, that would be epic.
We would love it, bro. And I just like to give the guests just a couple minutes to do their shout out whoever you'd like. Just take a few minutes and wrapping this thing up. The floor is yours.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, man. Shout out you for having me on here, bro. You just hit me up the other day. I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Dave, showing me the first position that I found the choke from. Shout out Alex Canders, helping me on the primary coaching to finally lock it in and actually finish somebody with it for the first time. Shout out Alexei Bordas, helping me with the good coaching to find transitions and variations off of it. Shout out my professor Eduardo Fraga, man, he's like a freaking saint, man.
Yeah.
Just an amazing guy. Always had me come with him and his son out to Berkeley campus, just like always welcomed me. Shout out Master Ralph Gracie, the legend, man, the realest real. Shout out Rose Gracie, God's work, man. You know, she's president of Mixed Martial Arts Federation for Brazil now.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It's badass.
And dude, she's amazing, just the most amazing person. Shout out Caesar Gracie, I love him, he's the man. Yeah, man. Shout out my wife, love of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, she nursed me back to health after my knee surgery, and the best thing that's ever happened to me, man. And all you guys, man, all you guys training and all you guys that watch, thanks a lot. And just believe in yourself, man.
Yeah.
You're way stronger than I was, way stronger than I even am. Like you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea the power that's in you, man. To do good for other people. You know, you have no idea the capacity inside you to do good for other people. So thanks very much for coming on.
Yeah, man, it's been an absolute honor, man. And go check out Austin online. How do we find your Instagram? I know Facebook's hacked.
Instagram is Deep Sage Is. So DEEPSAGEIS, Deep Sages.
Yeah. And so go follow Austin out there and, be looking out for his videos coming out on the Buggy system, man. I'm excited you're doing that. You know, like you said, we don't know how long we're on this planet. So to get something recorded that's going to be out for future generations, man, that's what it's about.
Yeah,
and thank you, fans, for downloading the podcast each and every week. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere where you get your podcast. Austin, thank you again. This has been another great episode of Grapplers Talk. This is Dave, and we are out.
This is Grapplers Talk.